The Seattle Fault Zone runs across the Puget Sound and through our state's largest population center, the city of Seattle. It's imperative that we understand the hazards that are posed by an earthquake and subsequent tsunami along that fault. Recent research published by the Department of Natural Resources sheds light on where the worst impacts will be from this tsunami when, and this is not when, this is when, not if, actually, a quake strikes the Seattle Fault. We will have a quake at some point, and the question is just, when will that happen? Now, the last earthquake on the Seattle Fault occurred about 1,100 years ago. The geologic record indicates a history of smaller, more frequent earthquakes every 700 years or so, placing us, unfortunately, well within the window for a seismic event. Scientists estimate about a 5 to 7% chance of an earthquake along the Seattle Fault in the next 50 years. But we know that whether in the next 50 years or the next 500, a quake will occur. And when it does, it will have a drastic impact on Seattle and our region. When we think of the risk of tsunamis, we often think of our outer coast, out far away, where communities live very low along that waterfront, along the ocean. But the geologic record reveals tsunami deposits on Whidbey Island, in the city of Everett, and West Point, just north of us, from the last great Seattle Fault earthquake. If the Seattle Fault was capable of producing a large earthquake in the past that generated a tsunami and truly redefined the shorelines that we see around us, it is capable of doing it again. According to our modeling, an earthquake of 7.5 magnitude would put where I'm standing right now, where you are all standing right now, under about 10 feet of water. Harbor Island, which houses so much of our maritime infrastructure, would be under as much as 40 feet of water, with tsunami waves reaching inland as far as Lumen Field and T-Mobile Park. Understanding these potential risks is critical to our preparation efforts to withstand them. 3 to 5 minutes is all that separates a seismic event from the arrival of tsunami waves. 3 to 5 minutes, right here in the greater Seattle area, which is why we do this research now, so everyone is aware of it, so our local, state government is aware of it, and we can start to prepare and plan and take all precautions necessary. We want everyone to be able to make informed plans and be prepared for the inevitability of an earthquake. Although moving our infrastructure out of the hazard area would be impossible, our ports, our stadiums, our ferry terminals, and all the infrastructure up and down the waterfront are rooted in place and staples of our community. And I know many of my colleagues here today with the state, the city, the county, and port are working to ensure we incorporate this new information into updated construction and emergency response planning. We will not be able to design away all the risks stemming from earthquakes and tsunamis, but we can take this new modeling to help us develop plans ensuring our resiliency when it happens. Our study updates previous research of the tsunami generated from the Seattle Fault with more detail and clarity. And my hope is that it will give our partners and our agency a clearer picture of the risks that we are facing so that we may develop the detailed response plans that will save lives and protect the economy and industry of this beautiful city. I encourage members of the public to visit DNR's geologic information portal to see how their homes or businesses may be impacted or by a tsunami. I'm a resident of Seattle. I have already done this. It is important that people are aware of this. You can find this at www.dnr.wa.gov/tsunami. Furthermore, I want to remind everyone living near Puget Sound to stock or resupply their earthquake emergency supplies. We sometimes get too comfortable when the earth isn't shaking. We think it won't happen in our lifetime, but the fact is it could happen any day. Earthquake emergency kits should include at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, enough to last several days. non-perishable food, enough to feed everyone in your family and your household for every meal for 7 days, a flashlight with extra batteries, a hand crank or battery-operated radio to receive public emergency announcements, and a whistle in case help is needed. I dearly hope we never witness an earthquake and its destruction in our lifetimes. But if we do, community preparedness and resilience are the best ways to limit the destruction and protect ourselves and our neighbors.